Kim Jong Un isn't just the world's most feared dictator. He's among its richest, living a life of surreal opulence, while his 26 million citizens survive on meager rice rations. His main palace, a sprawling 12-square-kilometer fortress in Pyongyang, boasts an Olympic pool with a water slide, private cinemas, and nuclear-proof bunkers. 1. Palaces and luxury compounds. Kim Jong-un's real estate portfolio is a testament to absolute power, dwarfing the grandeur of historical monarchs. His 17-plus palaces and estates across North Korea are not mere homes but fortified pleasure domes. The Ryangong residence in Pyongyang, spanning 12 square kilometers, is a city within a city, built in 1983 and upgraded with lavish amenities. It features an Olympic-standard pool with a 30-foot water slide, banquet halls for 500 guests, a professional running track, and a shooting range with imported targets. A 1,000-seat private cinema houses Kim's illegal collection of 20,000 DVDs, from Hollywood's Avengers to Japanese Godzilla, media that could land citizens in labor camps. Security includes electric fences, minefields, and tunnels linking to other residences for covert escapes. The Ryangong compound's paranoia-driven design reflects Kim's fear of assassination. A private underground train station connects to a wartime headquarters with lead-lined walls, built to withstand nuclear strikes. Satellite imagery shows constant upgrades, new pavilions, landscape gardens, and a private zoo with rare Siberian tigers. Maintenance costs millions annually, with imported marble floors and Italian chandeliers flown in via China. Staffed by hundreds, the compound consumes enough electricity to power a small city, while rural North Koreans endure blackouts. Kim's obsession with secrecy means even his inner circle rarely sees the full extent of Ryangong's splendor. The Wonsan Villa in Gangwon Province is another jewel, a coastal retreat Dennis Rodman compared to Ibiza in 2013. It boasts a private marina with luxury yachts, a horse-riding range with thoroughbreds, and a water park with synchronized fountains. Kim's private island nearby, accessible only by his fleet, features a football pitch, basketball court, and a mini amusement park. Construction costs for Wonsan alone rival North Korea's annual healthcare budget, with millions spent on imported palm trees and coral reefs. The compound staff, trained to anticipate Kim's every whim, live in fear of execution for minor errors. This is not just luxury, it's a fortress of indulgence, isolating Kim from his starving nation. In 2022, satellite imagery revealed 8 new mansions in Pyongyang's Changsong compound, each a labyrinth of opulence with indoor pools and saunas. These serve as decoys to confuse assassins, ensuring Kim's safety while indulging his taste for excess. The compounds are staffed by elite guards trained in Russia, costing millions in salaries and equipment. Rare artworks, smuggled from Europe, adorn the walls, while private theaters screen propaganda films glorifying Kim. The human cost is staggering. The resources for one mansion could feed thousands for years. Yet for Kim, these palaces are monuments to a god king, untouchable by his people's suffering. Hold tight. The next trio of Kim's excesses will leave you speechless. From a rolling fortress of decadence to smuggled luxuries defying global sanctions, and a lifestyle so lavish it mocks his nation's hunger, the depths of his empire are about to unfold. Armored trains and luxury fleets. Kim's transportation is a masterclass in extravagance, blending paranoia with ostentatious wealth. His 90-carriage armored train, inherited from Kim Jong-il, is a mobile palace rivaling luxury liners. Upgraded with dining cars serving Michelin-worthy French and Japanese cuisine, it features conference rooms, plush pink leather suites, and a private karaoke lounge. Bulletproof and escorted by over 100 agents, 17 helicopters, and MiG jets, the train's armor limits it to 37 miles per hour, turning short trips into day-long affairs. Defectors describe a pleasure brigade of young women serving as hostesses, a dark symbol of exploitation woven into Kim's travel. Maintenance costs, including imported fuel and tech, drain millions annually from a nation struggling to feed its people. The train's security is a fortress on rails, with anti-missile systems and reinforced steel plating sourced from Russian suppliers. Kim uses it for domestic tours and rare trips to China, where it's met with military-grade escorts. Each carriage is a technological marvel, equipped with satellite communications and encrypted servers for state business. The kitchens, staffed by chefs trained in Paris, prepare dishes like lobster thermidor, costing thousands per meal. A private medical bay stocked with imported equipment ensures Kim's health on the move. This rolling palace, a propaganda tool showcasing Kim's power, consumes resources that could rebuild entire villages. Kim's air fleet is equally lavish, led by an Illicit IL-62M, Shame 1, customized with white leather sofas, rosewood desks, and crystal ashtrays. A Ukrainian Antonov, and 148 handles shorter trips, both jets costing $50 million each to maintain yearly. 5 private airstrips, including a 500-meter runway at Wonsan, ensure secure travel, with construction costs rivaling public infrastructure budgets. Kim's maritime assets include a $7 to $8 million Princess 95MY yacht with 3 decks and a dining hall for 50. 4 cruise ships, including an 80-meter vessel with an Olympic pool and water slides, and a 200-foot party barge form a floating empire. Kim's obsession with mobility reflects his dual need for security and spectacle, projecting invincibility while hiding from assassins. These fleets aren't just transport. They're symbols of a ruler who commands land, sea, and air at a cost his nation cannot bear. Luxury goods and smuggling networks. Kim's appetite for luxury goods is insatiable, funded by a criminal network that laughs at UN sanctions. A 2014 UN report revealed $30 million spent on liquor, $37 million on electronics, and $8.2 million on watches in 1 year, figures that have doubled since. His wine cellar, stocked with $2,000 Hennessy Cognac and rare Bordeaux, consumes $30 million annually, while his people lack clean water. Kim dines on Danish pork, Iranian caviar, and Kobe beef, with private chefs flown to Japan for training. His $8 million watch collection, featuring Patek Philippe and Rolex, is gifted to loyalists to secure allegiance. These goods, banned under sanctions, arrive via Office 39, a state-run syndicate generating $1 billion yearly through cybercrime, arms deals, and drug trafficking. Office 39's operations are a global scandal, with North Korean hackers stealing $2 billion in cryptocurrency since 2017. Arms sales, including a disputed $100 billion deal with Russia, funnel profits to Kim's accounts. Counterfeit superdollars flood markets, crafted with precision that fools banks. Smuggling networks, operating through Chinese ports and Southeast Asian intermediaries, deliver Mercedes-Benz limousines and Italian yachts. Kim's wife, Ri Sol-ju, flaunts $1,500 Dior handbags, while his sister, Kim Yo-jong, carries $9,500 Christian Dior purses on diplomatic trips. These displays, violating sanctions, mock the international community, while reinforcing Kim's untouchability. The human cost of this smuggling is devastating. Forced laborers mine coal and gold to fund Kim's luxuries, working in brutal conditions for pennies. Over 200 foreign bank accounts in Switzerland, Singapore, and Russia, hidden under pseudonyms, hold hundreds of millions, managed by loyalists who risk execution for errors. Kim's obsession with Western electronics, Apple computers, iPhones, contradicts his regime's anti-Western propaganda. In 2024, luxury imports hit $51.92 million, including $15.3 million in watches, while 70% of North Koreans face hunger. This criminal empire, blending state power with mafia tactics, ensures Kim's wealth grows, even as his nation collapses under sanctions. Kim's Swiss education shaped his taste for luxury, with officials sent to learn cheesemaking to satisfy his love for Emmental. His smoking habit, 44 Yves Saint Laurent cigarettes, cost more per pack than a third of the average citizen's monthly income. The regime's smuggling bypasses sanctions through diplomatic pouches and front companies in Hong Kong. Defectors report luxury goods arriving weekly, with customs officials bribed to look away. Kim's family, from his daughter's riding gear to his wife's designer wardrobe, mirrors this excess, creating a royal court in a starving nation. This is not just consumption. It's a deliberate display of power, funded by the suffering of millions. Get ready for a deeper dive into Kim's world of excess. From a daily life of obscene indulgence to propaganda, resorts built on lies, and a loyalty system bought with blood money, the next revelations will expose the true cost of his empire. 4. Daily lifestyle of excess. Kim Jong Un's daily life is a dystopian fantasy, so detached from reality it reads like fiction. He spends over $10 million annually on personal luxuries, dining on imported Australian lobster, Japanese sushi, and Swiss chocolate truffles, costing $200,000 per sourcing trip. His private chefs, trained in Paris and Tokyo, prepare multi-course feasts daily, while 60% of North Koreans face malnutrition. Kim's health regimen, overseen by imported doctors, includes MRI machines and fitness trainers unavailable to his crumbling healthcare system. His basketball obsession, born in Switzerland, led to private courts in every palace, with millions spent on NBA memorabilia and Dennis Rodman's visits. His 1,000-seat cinema screens smuggled blockbusters like Spider-Man nightly, a privilege that could jail citizens. Kim's tech habits are equally extravagant, with smuggled Apple MacBooks and iPhones used for personal and military purposes. His daughter, Kim Jong Un, enjoys horseback riding with $10,000 saddles and skiing with imported gear, while most North Korean children lack shoes. His weight, monitored by global intelligence, is managed with premium treatments, including $100,000 anti-aging therapies from Germany. Private barbers, flown from Singapore, maintain his iconic haircut, costing thousands per visit. The electricity for his air-conditioned palaces could power hospitals, but Kim prioritizes comfort over lives. This daily excess, funded by forced labor, is a stark contrast to a nation where clean water is a luxury. Kim's hobbies extend to rare car collections, with vintage Rolls-Royces and Ferraris smuggled from Europe. His private zoo, housing pandas and elephants, cost millions in upkeep, with animals fed better than citizens. Daily screenings in his cinema include South Korean dramas, banned for the public but hoarded by Kim. His wardrobe, featuring $5,000 Italian suits, is tailored abroad, with fittings costing more than a year's wages for most North Koreans. Private concerts by state-trained musicians, performing Western pop, entertain Kim nightly, costing thousands in salaries. This lifestyle isn't just indulgent, it's a deliberate rejection of his people's suffering, a ruler living as a deity in a land of despair. The scale of Kim's daily spending is a moral outrage. A single bottle of his $2,000 Hennessy cognac could feed a family for months. His personal staff, over 1,000 strong, includes masseuses, sommeliers, and tech experts, all paid exorbitant salaries. His love for gaming, with custom consoles smuggled from Japan, costs millions, while schools lack electricity. Kim's private fishing lakes, stocked with imported koi, are maintained by divers trained in Malaysia. Even his pets, rare Persian cats, eat gourmet food flown from France. This daily spectacle, funded by Office 39's crimes, is a calculated display of power, mocking a nation on the brink of collapse. Kim's recreational facilities are propaganda tools masquerading as personal playgrounds. The Ryangong ski resort, costing $300 million, features world-class slopes, Swiss-designed chairlifts, and luxury lodges, yet it's nearly empty, as skiing is unthinkable for most North Koreans. Built to project prosperity, it's filmed for state media to showcase a false utopia, costing millions yearly in upkeep. Kim's Wonsan compound includes a private water park with synchronized fountains and slides, rivaling Disney resorts but reserved for his inner circle. A private zoo with zebras, giraffes, and Siberian tigers consumes resources that could rebuild schools. These facilities are staffed by hundreds, serve Kim's whims while his people starve. The Ryangong resort's construction displaced thousands of villagers, their homes razed without compensation. Its ski lifts, imported from Austria, cost $50 million, while rural clinics lack medicine. Kim's private beaches at Wonsan, with imported white sand from Vietnam, are patrolled by naval ships to ensure privacy. Propaganda videos show Kim skiing or riding horses, portraying him as a dynamic leader, but the reality is a vanity project funded by forced labor. Maintenance crews working 16-hour shifts face execution for errors like a malfunctioning slide. These resorts aren't just luxuries, they're staged illusions, hiding a nation's poverty behind a dictator's playground. Kim's 138 thoroughbred horses, costing $584,320, are used for stage photos, projecting strength while consuming grain that could feed thousands. His private amusement park, with roller coasters imported from Germany, costs millions to maintain for rare use by Kim's family. A shooting range, modeled after Swiss designs, uses imported ammunition, with each session costing thousands. Satellite imagery shows new pavilions added yearly, with Italian architects hired for design. The zoo's animals, fed premium diets, contrast with children scavenging for food. These facilities, built on lies, are Kim's attempt to rewrite reality, a billionaire's fantasy at the cost of a nation's survival. The propaganda value of these projects is calculated. State media broadcasts images of Kim enjoying these resorts, convincing citizens of national progress. Foreign guests like Chinese diplomats are hosted to project stability, with banquets costing $100,000 per event. The resort's staff, often young women from the pleasure brigade, face brutal conditions to maintain perfection. Kim's private golf course, designed by a Scottish firm, costs millions, yet he rarely plays. These sites, guarded by elite forces, are inaccessible to 99% of North Koreans, symbolizing a ruler's disconnect. The resources for one resort could transform lives, but Kim chooses spectacle over humanity. 6. Gift politics and elite loyalty. Kim's wealth is a weapon to secure loyalty through gift politics, a system of lavish bribes for military and party elites. Swiss watches, $1 million Mercedes-Benz cars, and $9,500 Dior handbags are gifted to ensure allegiance, each item costing more than a citizen's annual income. In 2022, Kim gave a luxury apartment to state TV anchor Ri Chun-hee, a $2 million reward for propaganda service, publicized to flaunt his generosity. These gifts, smuggled via Office 39, create a culture of dependency, with elites knowing disloyalty could mean execution. Kim's wife and sister, sporting designer goods, signal untouchability, reinforcing the royal court. The cost, millions yearly, ties luxury to oppression, a corrupt bargain funded by suffering. The gift system is a masterclass in control. Over 500 officials receive annual rewards, from Rolexes to smuggled iPads, costing $10 million collectively. Defectors describe a climate of fear, with elites competing for Kim's favor to secure more gifts. Luxury apartments in Pyongyang, equipped with Italian furniture, are reserved for loyalists, while ordinary citizens live in crumbling shacks. Kim's sister, Kim Yo-jong, uses her $9,500 purses as diplomatic props, signaling power abroad. The pleasure brigade, often gifted jewelry, serves as both reward and exploitation, their roles shrouded in secrecy. This system ensures Kim's empire remains unchallenged, with loyalty bought at a devastating human cost. Gift politics extends to military displays, with Kim gifting tanks and jets to generals, costing billions. These rewards, funded by Office 39's cyber heists and arms deals, are staged for propaganda, showing Kim as a benevolent leader. Elites live in gated compounds with private schools, a stark contrast to rural poverty. Defectors report executions for those who reject gifts, ensuring compliance. The system's cost diverts funds from public welfare, with one apartment block equaling a year's food aid. Kim's generosity is a trap, binding elites to a regime where wealth is power and dissent is death. The psychological impact of gift politics is profound. Elites, showered with luxuries, are complicit in Kim's crimes, unable to defect without losing everything. Public ceremonies where gifts are presented are televised to instill envy and fear in citizens. Kim's daughter, Kim Jue, is groomed with gifts like $5,000 riding gear, preparing her for the dynasty. The system's efficiency lies in its cruelty. Every watch or car is a reminder of Kim's control. Resources for these bribes could rebuild hospitals, but Kim prioritizes loyalty over lives. This is not just corruption, it's a deliberate strategy to perpetuate oppression, funded by a nation's stolen wealth. Brace for the dark heart of Kim's empire, a criminal syndicate laundering billions, a brutal purge of rivals, and a fortune so vast it dwarfs his nation's economy. The final revelations will expose the true horror of his wealth. 7. Office 39 and illicit wealth generation. Office 39 is the sinister engine of Kim's $5 billion fortune, a state-run criminal syndicate generating up to $1 billion yearly. Its operations, cybercrime, arms sales, drug trafficking, counterfeiting, and human trafficking are a global underworld empire. North Korean hackers like the Lazarus Group have stolen $2 billion in cryptocurrency since 2017, targeting exchanges in Japan and South Korea. Arms deals, including a disputed $100 billion ammunition sale to Russia, flood Kim's accounts with cash. Counterfeit super dollars, crafted with German printing presses, deceive banks worldwide, earning millions. This shadow network, operating through Chinese ports and Southeast Asian front companies, ensures Kim's luxuries arrive despite sanctions. Over 200 foreign bank accounts in Switzerland, Singapore, and Russia hold hundreds of millions, managed by intermediaries who face death for betrayal. Forced laborers in gulags mine coal, gold, and rare earths exported through black market channels to fund Kim's yachts. In 2024, luxury imports hit $51.92 million, with $15.3 million on watches and $13.9 million on cosmetics, smuggled via diplomatic pouches. Office 39's cyber operations run from secret bases in China, hack global banks, with one 2016 heist netting $81 million from Bangladesh. The human cost is horrific. Laborers die in mines while Kim buys $7 million jets. This is not just crime, it's state-sponsored theft on an unprecedented scale. The sophistication of Office 39 is chilling. It employs diplomats as couriers, using embassies to smuggle goods and cash. North Korean restaurants abroad, staffed by enslaved workers, launder profits, generating millions for Kim's palaces. The syndicate's drug trade, producing meth in state labs, supplies Asian markets, with profits buying Kim's caviar. Defectors reveal operatives trained in Russia to evade sanctions, using shell companies in Panama. The operation's secrecy ensures Kim's wealth is untouchable, even as UN sanctions tighten. Office 39 isn't just a funding mechanism, it's the backbone of a regime that thrives on exploitation, turning a nation's suffering into a dictator's fortune. The global reach of Office 39 is a diplomatic embarrassment. Its hackers target Western firms, stealing intellectual property to fund Kim's tech obsession. Arms shipments hidden in cargo ships evade naval patrols, with one 2019 seizure revealing missiles bound for Africa. The syndicate's human trafficking sends North Korean workers to Russian logging camps, their wages diverted to Kim. It's a machine of greed, built on the bones of a nation, funding a lifestyle that defies morality. 8. Power consolidation through brutality. Kim's $5 billion fortune is secured through ruthless violence, eliminating any threat to his wealth. Taking power in 2011 at 27, he inherited a criminal dynasty but faced rivals within. In 2013, he executed his uncle, Jang Song-tak, a power broker with Chinese ties, purging his faction to monopolize Office 39's profits. In 2017, his half-brother, Kim Jong Un, was assassinated in Malaysia with VX nerve agent, erasing a potential claimant to the family fortune. Over 300 purges since 2011, including public executions by anti-aircraft guns, have silenced dissent, ensuring Kim's control. Kim's Swiss education, costing $25,000 per child yearly during the 1990s famine, shaped his paranoia and love for luxury. Classmates recall a boy obsessed with Nike sneakers and Rolex watches, traits that fueled his brutal rule. Purges target not just rivals but their families, with entire lineages sent to labor camps to prevent rebellion. The 2013 execution of Yang involved a show trial, broadcast to terrify elites, costing $1 million in staging. Kim's security apparatus, with 50,000 agents, consumes billions funded by forced labor. The psychological toll of Kim's purges is immense. Elites live in terror, knowing a misstep could mean death. Defectors describe public executions as propaganda, with citizens forced to watch as a warning. Kim's assassination of Kim Jong Un, planned for years, used North Korean spies trained in China, costing $500,000. Military displays with tanks gifted to loyal generals reinforced control, costing billions in smuggled equipment. The famine's 2 million deaths didn't slow Kim's family spending, with $10 million on Swiss schools alone. This is not just power, it's a calculated reign of terror, ensuring Kim's wealth remains unchallenged while his nation crumbles. Kim's consolidation extends to propaganda, with state media portraying him as a divine leader. Purges are framed as cleansing the nation, costing millions in staged rallies. His sister Kim Yo-jong enforces loyalty, overseeing executions with chilling precision. The regime's gulags, holding 70,000 prisoners, generate wealth through slave labor, mining gold for Kim's watches. Every purge strengthens Kim's grip, diverting resources from starving citizens. This brutality, paired with gift politics, creates a loyal elite class, complicit in a system where wealth is power and dissent is death. Kim's empire is a fortress of fear built on the graves of his rivals. 9. Economic disparity and moral bankruptcy. Kim's $5 billion fortune, 12% of North Korea's $40 billion GDP, is a grotesque symbol of inequality. In the US, it would equate to one person controlling $2.5 trillion, an unimaginable concentration of wealth. While Kim spends $600 million yearly on luxuries, double his father's $300 million, 60% of North Koreans live below the poverty line. A single $2,000 Hennessy bottle could feed a family for months, yet Kim's wine cellar grows. In 2024, luxury imports surged to $51.92 million, including $13.9 million on cosmetics, while hospitals lack bandages. This disparity, with citizens earning $1,300 yearly, is a moral abyss, unmatched in modern history. The 1990s famine, killing 2 million, saw Kim's family spend $25,000 per child yearly on Swiss education. Today, 70% of North Koreans face hunger, while Kim dines on Kobe beef flown from Japan. His private zoos with animals fed imported diets cost millions, while children scavenge for scraps. Kim's international trips, with $1 million limousines flown abroad, flout sanctions, projecting power while rural schools collapse. His thoroughbred horses, costing $584,320, are propaganda tools, not progress, consuming grain needed for survival. This is not just inequality, it's a deliberate theft of resources, prioritizing one man's whims over a nation's life. Kim's moral bankruptcy is evident in his family's excess. The regime's propaganda, costing billions, paints Kim as a savior, while 70,000 prisoners toil in gulags. His daughter's private tutors, flown from Europe, cost more than rural education budgets. The contrast is stark, one man's excess versus a nation's despair. Kim's fortune, built on oppression, is a moral failure. A billionaire's empire atop a graveyard of hope. This is the climax of Kim's dark empire, a fortune built on crime, blood, and betrayal. The final truth reveals a lifestyle so obscene, it redefines greed. A ruler so detached, he thrives on his nation's pain, and a legacy that challenges the limits of human morality. Kim Jong Un's life, a surreal blend of decadence and cruelty, is the ultimate indictment of absolute power meeting insatiable greed. Explore more on wealth and power on our channel.